dynasty, and they used to like to go out and march. And they would get out and parade and march. And each king had all his attendants that would follow him. Now, the first king, the most powerful king, always marched in the front. And then the middle king, who had been the first one to come up with power, liked to march in the middle. And then the smallest king was very unobtrusive. He didn't like any fanfare, so he would just come along in the back. So they marched this way, and everybody came out to see them, until one day there was a revolt. The middle king, who was very, like I said, he was the first one to exert power, thought that he needed to do something. So the first thing he did was he brought some of his attendants up to attack the attendants. Immediately, the bodyguards, these were the bodyguards, surrounded him. So we have 6 bodyguards. Now, meanwhile, in the back, here we have this little guy. His attendants come in and they say, well, we need to do something too. So his attendants come up and attack these guys. And the other attendants moved up. They wanted to do something, but they didn't know what. And then he moved back to the end. He just didn't like anything that was going on whatsoever. So, this revolt had occurred, right? And they proceeded that way. Now, the reason this happened, and I didn't tell the story very well, I hadn't done this so well, but the reason this happened was because they had just marched into the kingdom of the decimal system. Okay. And so then we have these tickets, which the children would be familiar with. And they would ticket these. Here's the A cube ticket, okay. And then that's also H cubed, because this can be hundreds, okay. So this would be the B cube, but also 10 cubed, and this would be the C cube, but also the unit cubed, okay. So then you're in the kingdom of the decimal system now, so you got to switch out your tickets, and you got to switch out for this cube. Any questions at this stage? Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have no background in this. This is totally crazy. But okay, so when you march into, I'm not going to put all those
So
tickets
now
out.
you're in the decimal empire?
You're in the kingdom of the decimal system.
Okay.
So everything's arranged decimal, and that's what these colors represent. So now you swap this
Exchange.
for that.
Is there a
So-
battle?
Pardon?
Is there a battle going to happen?
That's what the kids
You
would
saw the
ask.
coup. You saw
Yeah.
the coup.
Yeah.
That was it. And I have a hard time making a big deal of it in front of
So how do you swap it out?
Okay, so they swap it.
So the hope is they understand the concrete pattern and visual pattern of the abstract understanding of cubes and decimals.
Yeah, they have to understand a lot. They have to have had the algebraic and then they go on into the decimal system. But they can do it.
And what level do you present this?
This is usually at the end of upper elementary,
So what age is that?
11, 12. Yeah. So let's look. What is this? It's just a unit cube. So units times units times units gives us what? Gives us units, right? So let's see. And if I can get some help putting these out, that'd be very much appreciated. Okay, so units times units times units gives us units. So if you look through here, and of course we're all writing this too. This is a lot of writing, which I'm not showing you.
When you present this lesson, is it done one-on-one?
Usually groups of 3 or so.
In
Or 4.
elementary, it's small groups,
Small
in
groups.
primary, it's more one-on-one.
And then a lot of times I have a little write-up, you know, like the story of the 3 kings that they could use.
Right.
They can tell the story themselves. So that's unit cubes. What is this? Let's see. This is units times tens. So units times tens equals just tens, right? So this can substitute. So where do we find that?
Just tens?
Units times tens.
What about the expression?
There it is. Right? Tens times units. So there's 3 of those.
Hmm. And here you have an insight of the Montessori mathematical.
So these are stacked,
Abstract.
right? They're all the same hierarchy. This is
Learning.
units times hundreds. And notice as they come out, they're the same color because they're all going to be hundreds. Substitute.
How do they know that orange is 100?
Well, we've done so much
Work. to-
background, like 10 times hundreds, hundreds times units equals hundreds. And I got people in there now, hundreds times hundreds, 10,000. They just know.
Right.
Okay, and eventually they get to where they can just add the zeros, but you don't tell them that. And so these are hundreds, but they're units times hundreds to get there, right? So we need to find the proper tickets. Right. Unit squares, hundreds, those. And then what are these?
Hundreds
Tens
is
times tens, it's got the square face of the tens, tens times tens, times the height of the units. Tens times tens of the units.
Yeah.
But they're also hundreds.
I have no idea what.
Yeah. Tens times tens are hundreds.
Can you see the pattern? I'm just seeing the pattern, because I'm seeing it a little bit, but I'm lost now. Shafali, you're an architect, do you see it?
Is
I mean,
it
I see it, but.
She's putting some tabs out there. I mean, she was doing something.
It's been years since I've done, math like this, but I just texted my wife saying, they're doing trinomial math, I'm lost.
Okay, so I'm losing you.
I know, I need to go back to school.
Okay. So we've got the
That's
bodyguard
great, the
surrounding
visual.
that one. This is 10 cubed, right?
Right.
Okay. So 10 cubed is what? It's 1,000. So that's thousands. We're just moving through. This one is what? This is units
That's
times
weird.
tens times hundreds, which is also thousands.
It's a bodyguard.